Okay. So good morning, all of you. Today we will talk about rectifier circuit. That to be a single phase rectifier circuit and then three-phase rectifier circuit. We have already discussed about sim power system, which is the main library. Okay, and under the main library we have this power library. Okay, so for power electronics, you can say type of circuits. Okay, so yes, so in the power library we have this electrical sources, okay, like elements. Then we have power electronics library, then machine library, okay, so you can say machine blocks, measurement blocks, interface units or interface elements block, and then power GUI we have. So yes, that these things we already seen. Okay, then we have talked about the rectifier. So rectifier is you can say it can be used for multiple of electronic appliances. Okay, uh, likewise your mobile phones also. Okay, so where we want to convert our AC, that is your alternating current, to the DC, that is your direct current. Okay, so there are types of you can say rectifiers. Okay, one is they are broadly classified. Okay, likewise uncontrolled rectifiers. So the main element to this, or I can say main device to this uncontrolled rectifier, is diodes, where we do not have a control. Okay, and then we have a controlled rectifier, that we are using a silicon controlled rectifier like thyristors we are using in order to get rectified output. Okay, so two types, like mainly they called uncontrolled rectifier and then controlled rectifier. So in controlled rectifier we have like SCR is a trigger with the help of gate pulse. Okay, so whenever we apply gate pulse to that, then your SCR, or you can say thyristor, will trigger. So there we have a control. Okay, so that's why we are calling it as a controlled rectifier. Again, then I can say there are types like a single phase, okay, three-phase rectifier. So when we use in single phase appliances or single phase, we are calling this a single phase, and three-phase appliances also we can use, or you can say devices. Then again, this is what the fully controlled, half controlled, and semi-controlled. Okay, semi-converter, not control. Okay, so these are the various types. Then we talked about half wave rectifier. Okay, this is just I mentioned in the PPT, that is we have provided this half wave rectifier using this single diode. Okay, and then you will get a rectified output where only for positive half cycle your diode will can say you will get a rectified output, whereas for no negative cycle we will not get any of the waveform. Okay, we have connected this across load resistance. Okay, and then we have measured the output voltage. You can say this is what the rectified output. Then we have full wave rectifier. Okay, this is also uncontrolled. So there you can see that there are two diodes are being used. Okay, that is this is you can say half wave rectifier. This is full wave rectifier, where you can use two diodes. And then we have the third type, that is full wave rectifier, which is the bridge rectifier. Okay, so this is what the bridge rectifier. So here you can provide that input. Okay, as sinusoidal waveform, input as a sinusoidal waveform, and then you will get an output. Okay, so AC you will provide here at the input side, and you will get a DC output at the output side. And this circuitry is called as rectifier circuitry, which is comes which is looks like a bridge. Okay, so like we have four diodes here connected like a bridge. And then I spoke you about uh, uh, how they are going to flow. Okay, that current will going to flow. Okay, so these directions I told you about that. And then we have seen that rectified output for both the positive and negative AC signal. Okay, or input signal will get rectified output for the you can say both the cycles. Okay, and then we talked about yes, then controlled rectifier. As I told you that there is the same, you can say this is what the bridge rectifier using diode, and the same, you can say, circuit is there for uh, controlled rectifier. This is uncontrolled because we are using the diode. There is no control of rectification. And here in the controlled rectifier we are using SCR, or you can say thyristor, we have used it here. And then thyristor has three terminal device. Okay, likewise it has two terminals like anode and cathode. And then it has a three terminal, that is third terminal, that is the gate. Okay, gate pulse. Okay, so we need to provide gate pulse and then depending upon the gate pulse, or you can say a firing angle, your thyristor, or you can say your SCR will be triggered. Okay, so that is what the theory. Now let us move ahead with the. So if you have any doubts right now, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll move ahead with the simulation of this rectifier circuit. Okay, that is controlled and uncontrolled rectifier, even single phase and three phase rectifier circuit. So anyone has doubt? I'll stop presenting and then I will present a MATLAB screen. Okay. Yes, yesterday Kunal told me about that. We need to share, instead of sharing all the windows parallelly, I will share you the screen. Yes, I will share you the screen. So entire screen I will be sharing you. So this is what. Yes, is it visible now? Okay, so screen is visible right now. So we'll start with the half wave rectifier, then we'll go for a full wave rectifier, and then we make this bridge rectifier. Okay, and then this is what for the single phase. Okay, and then we can move for the three phase. We'll apply three power sources input to this rectifier circuit. Just hold. MATLAB Windows capture. While recording, I forgot to record the screen also. So add display capture. Okay, okay. Anyways, I forgot, so we'll okay. So we are yes, I will open the earlier example. Okay, like desktop, then CAD lab, rectifier. Okay, so this we have already simulated. Okay, we'll go for you can say half wave rectifier. Okay, I will delete everything, and then we can simulate this from the start from the scratch. Okay, because I'm recording it night, so it will be helpful for others, those who have opened. Okay, yes. So I need to collect the component. So do I collect the component? So I will collect this component from this library browser. So this is what you can say icon for library browser. So I will go for this. I will click on this library browser. Okay, it will open the library browser. Now in the library browser, I'm going to simulate half wave rectifier. So I need a diode, I need a load. Okay, I need measurement blocks, I need a voltage source at the input. So first I will take voltage source. Okay, so just click on the uh, uh, sim escape. Okay, here is the sim escape, and then go for sim power system. Okay, this is what the sim power system, then specialized technologies, and then in the specialized technologies you can go for electrical drives and control system. Fundamental blocks are there. Okay, electrical sources are there. So in the electrical sources, we can go to here AC voltage source, okay, and then just add it to this model. Okay, so AC source has been got here, and you can see that AC sources is there, and then AC sources. Then what we need is we need go back to this, okay, and then electrical sources. Then we need diode, so we'll move ahead to the element. What is that? Please see what are the elements. Okay, so these are the elements. Okay, so we need a diode. Okay, so I'll go for this power electronics, and there I'm having this diode. Okay, so this is what the diode I will add to this model. Okay, so go back to this screen. So yes, diode has been added. Okay, I'm just making it small. Okay, so AC voltage source, as I told you that we have to uh, just double click on it. Okay, so you can see that there is a peak amplitude. Okay, so peak amplitude, as I told you that in the AC voltage source we have that peak to peak amplitude is there, and then we will get an output as RMS value. Okay, so RMS is nothing but we have to multiply that peak to peak to, you can say, 1 by square root. Okay, so in order to get that particular thing, okay, that peak amplitude, I will multiply this as with the help of, you can say, square root of 2. So I will get an so amplitude multiplied by, you can say, square root of 2. And yes, of course, that 230 I will make instead of 100. So this is 230. Okay, as this is single phase, so there is phase is 0. Okay, and for frequency for single phase I will make it as a 50. Okay, so and then I will make this okay. Then diode I got. Okay, so I will connect this to diode. Now I need to connect it or output. Okay, so I will go to the pack, and then I will go to this elements. Okay, so in the elements I will get this series RLC branch. Series RLC load is there, so I will select this series branch of RLC element. You can see it here. Okay, so that use this branch parameter in order to add or remove elements from the branch. Okay, so I will just select an add block to this my model. So you can see, let's go back to this, and now I will rotate this. Okay, so how do I rotate? Just right click on this block. Okay, for the first time it will take time. Okay, just I'm right clicking, just wait, and then we have this rotate and flip, and then I will rotate it as clockwise. Okay, now okay, and now if you double click on it, okay, I'm just double clicking, so I will get to know about the block parameters of, you can say, series RLC branch. Okay, here you can read out the help. Okay, if you want more help, you can just click on this help block. Okay, so now I will select my load as, okay, you can change the branch type. Here you can see that there can be a RLC by default. Okay, you can make it as R, you can make it as L, you can make it as C, and then you can provide the value of that particular, you can say, branch. Okay, like RL branch also we can select, RC branch also we can select, LC branch will also select, and then it can be an open circuit also. So here for this particular example I will select R. Okay, so my load is only resistive type load, or you can say branch, and then use apply and okay. Okay, yes, again one more thing is that that is resistance. Okay, so whatever the values you want that to be resistance value that you can change. So here by default 1 ohm is there, so I will change it to let us take 100 ohm. Use apply and then okay. Okay, so I will collect this as a load. And then what I need, I will just connect this circuit now. Okay, now this is what my complete circuit is there. Okay, complete circuit is there, but now what I wanted to do is I wanted to make it as measurement. Okay, so what kind of measurement I can do? I can measure input, I can say input voltage. Okay, this is what input voltage is there, and then I can measure the output current, or you can say output voltage, these three parameters. So I need voltmeter, and then I need a ammeter, or you can say current measurements block or voltage measurement block. Okay, so just go to the library block, and then yes, here fundamental, then you can go for measurement. There you will get, this is what the current measurement block, and this is what the voltage measurement block. Okay, so I will select voltage measurement. I will add to this model. I need two voltage measurements, okay, because I wanted to measure uh, input voltage. Okay, so I will take this again, I will twice add this block, and then I need a current measurement. Okay, so current across the load I will measure. So I will add to this model. Fine. So just go to this. So this is what the current measurement, one is voltage measurement, and then voltage measurement. I will AC voltage source. Okay, this is just you can say, so voltage across input. Okay, I will measure this. I will make this block at here. So one terminal I will connect to this side, and another terminal I will connect to this side. Okay, so just see the connections. Okay, and then I need to measure a current across this load resistance. Okay, so I will remove this, I will delete, and then I will put current measurement here. I will take current measurement. Okay, yes, and then I need to measure a voltage. Make this large. Well, I will keep it here, and then that will be easy in order to see it properly. Yes, now it will be easier to see. And then voltage I will take across, you can say, this load. Yes. Now I need to connect this to the scope block. Okay, so I want scope block. So I'm just clicking on the scope, this library browser, and then going to, oh yes, then going to commonly used block. So in the commonly used block, I will get scope. Okay, this one is scope. So just right click on it, and then add block to a model. You can go to the model, there is a scope. Okay, now you can see that we require to measure input voltage, okay, and then output current and output voltage. Okay, so I need scope to be 3 input scope. Okay, so I'll just click on this, so it will open the output scope. Okay, just wait, for first time it will take time. Yes, and then there you can see that view. Okay, and then configuration properties, just click on the configuration property. and the number of input ports you can make it as a 3. Fine. And then you need three layout. Okay, so layout like one by one. uh, I think there is no from layout. Okay, so I will just hit apply and okay. Okay, I can go for view, and then there is a layout option. Okay, so layout one by one. Okay, one below the other, three waveforms. Okay, I will select these three blocks, so it will be like three outcome waveform. Now if you can double click, you will see that, so three waveforms will be there. Now just need to connect these inputs. So first I will take this outcome or the input voltage. Okay, and then output as a, and then third output is this. Okay, now yes, now you can run this. Okay, so you can make this as simulation time instead of 10. Okay, even if you can run for 10, I will run it for 10 seconds. Okay, so what is my frequency now? Frequency is 50 hertz. Okay, what is the time? 1 by 50. Okay, that is, you can say, 20 milliseconds. 1 by 50. Okay, you can run it now. I will run now for 10 seconds. Okay, and then yes. Okay, where? Oh yes. Oh yes, current measurement. Yes, this is what the current measurement. Yes, 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 you're correct. Just you first save it, and then you can run it. And amplitude and voltage source undefined, label SQRT2. Okay, as double. So what I will do is, so what is the value of square root of 2? 0.701. I will put 707. Let me check. The rectifier identification command cannot be evaluated. Oh yes, power geo is not there. Yes. So remember here, for every you can say power system, or you can say power electronics model simulation, you need to add power GUI to the your model. Okay, otherwise it will not. You can say it will not run. Okay. So go to this again library browser, and then look for Simscape. Okay, you can find out where is power GUI, Simscape components. Otherwise you can search it here like power GUI. So you can see it here in the power GUI. It is in the measurement block. Okay, so add block to the model. Yes, now as I told you that for power GUI, okay, if you double click on this power GUI, you have two type or can say three type of solver panes are there. Okay, like one is continuous, one is discrete, okay, and one is phasor. So here you can say power GUI can be used for in terms of power system. If you are using this power GUI, so by default it is continuous, it is showing. Okay, so for power system you can make it as a continuous. Okay, and you can say for power electronics circuit, okay, or models, you can make it as a discrete. Okay, if you click on the continuous, there is another type like use ideal switching devices also there. Then if you click on the discrete, then there are various discrete you can say solver types are there. That is backward Euler, Tustin, or backward Euler, like here. Okay, and there is a sample time. Okay, that is 50 microsecond time sample time is there for discrete. You can make it as you can change it as per the requirement. Otherwise you can make it as by default. Okay, and then we have this third phasor. Okay, so here I will make it as a discrete because this is power electronics, I can say, uh, power electronics model. Even if for why this is required continuous or discrete, we have to choose in order to make it more accurate. Okay, and then our you can say simulation time will be less if we select it properly. Okay, so I will select it as a discrete, and then the rest, the sample time will be the same, and the solver type is also by default. I will select apply, and then okay, so you can see it here, and then you can run. Let us check whether it will, is there any error or not. So now it's compiling, you can see it here. Just click on the scope, double click on the scope, so you will get an output. Okay, even you can zoom this output. You have to just click on it. Okay, okay, you can see it. Okay, otherwise what you can do is, now you can make this sampling time as, you can say, 1. Okay, so that maybe it will be visible you properly, and then you can run it. And you can change this axis also. Okay, you can change this color also for this waveforms. You can make it you can use it legend also in order to rename this waveforms. So view, and then let's go for this configuration parameter. And yes, here you can go for limits. Okay, your y limits or your x limit. Okay, so y limit here for this one first waveform. Okay, you can change it display. Okay, 1 second or third. Okay, because here three inputs are there. So for one you can make uh, yes, legend, show legend is there. Okay, so show legend means for all the three. Apply. Okay, and there you can see it here. I can make it waveform y limit. Yes, this is what. Yes, now you can see that for this is what is the output. There one more options are there. Okay, if you want to change the colors also, goes to forward, and I think there is, it is in style. Okay, so you can change the color also for this waveform also. For axis color also you can change. You can make the width. Okay, you can change the width also. Okay, for 2 I will make width as 2. Apply, and then for third make this as a 2, and I will change the color to this blue color. Okay, okay, just wait. Let me change the background for all. axis. I will make it as white. Just close it, and again you can run this simulation. Something. Yes. So you can see that this is what your input waveform. Okay, this is what the second one is. Something. This axis is there. You can run it again. You can check. I have shown it. Y-axis. This is what for x-axis. I don't know why it is not changing. Okay. Okay, so this is what the input for positive cycle. It is, you can say, input current, and then it is the input voltage. Okay, add the legend, show legend, apply. Okay, and tools, view, configuration, property, display, show legend. For second also I need to show legend. Okay, apply. Okay, I can see that from 0, this is what your current measurement. This is voltage measurement, that is our input voltage. Okay, this is what the output voltage is there. So for positive half cycle, this you can see this first is there, and then for negative half cycle you will get a 0. Okay, yes. So any doubt here? So here you can mention that what is the value of this. Okay, resistance. You can click on here, and then okay, I kept R for 100, R for 100 ohm, R for 100 ohm I have kept. Now what we can do is we can make this as bridge rectifier. Rest thing I will keep it as it is. Okay, let me remove this connection, and just right click on this diode. Okay, rotate it. We need 4 diodes here. Rotate counterclockwise, then just make it copy, control V, and then control C, control V. Okay, 2 diodes I have connected. So bridge, this is what the bridge, and then we need to connect a voltage output. Connect. I will take this input if you want to see the input waveform. Yes, and then make this as applicable. Then I will make this in series diode and then take a current measurement. Output is correct. Okay, then everything is, I think, correct. And as one of the input. Okay. Okay, so I will run now. I was about to save that earlier output. Okay, so I will make it as, okay. Anyways, I will save as bridge rectifier. Yes. Why? What is remaining? Oh yes, yes. It is about to complete. And yes, this one. Okay, and load. I have just. That's good. Okay, actually, if you informed me. Across load, across current. Yes, now it's completed. Okay, so now you can run it for 1 second. We see the output. Axis. Otherwise, what we can do is we can make this as a limit. Okay. Yes. So that will be. Let's also go to the view, configuration parameters, display. So one, the input will be this. Okay, that is y limits, and then for two it is, you can see what is around 1.5. This is around 150. So y limit minimum is, output is, I'll make it as 2. This is, I'll make it as from 0, and for 3, so 2, this one is 2, so limit, and for 3 I will make it as 200 again. 0 to 200, apply and okay, and then zoom. Yes, now you can see that for positive half cycle, okay, your diodes, your D1 and D2 will be conducting, okay, and for negative side half cycle, this one your diode D3 and D4 will be conducting. So this is what your current measurement, okay, this is for output voltage measurement, this is input voltage measurement, this is for your you can say single phase controlled rectifier using bridge rectifier, okay, full wave bridge rectifier. Oh, okay, what's this? Yes, I will. 1230 is there. 1230. So next one is that you have to use it with the help of you can say, yes, one more thing I wanted to tell you about this. You can see that this is what the converting your AC to DC. Okay, this is what the meaning of rectifier. But if you see the output, okay, here this is what the output current, output voltage. So what you have to add, okay, because here you can say you have to make it you have to use a filter, okay. So many times when you go for you can say rectifier circuit output, okay, uh, 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 you add a resistor across your load so that your output waveforms will be you can say filtered out, okay. So you will not get such curve, okay. If you measure this outcome across you can say by using multimeters, okay, you will get all the that average voltage output, okay, you will get that value, particular value, that is DC value, okay, or you can say straight line, that is nothing but the average output voltage value when you measure it across the you can say multimeter, okay. But if you look at this waveform, this is not you can say the sinusoidal waveform is there, it's look like not, it's not look like a DC. So we have to filter out this part, okay, with the help of you can say we have to put capacitors, okay, and depends upon its value and depends upon your load. Even if you load if you change your load like from R, okay, like from R, here we have used only R. Even if you change this load to you can say RL load, okay, so just I'm double clicking, okay, just in order to show you, okay, that what how it changes, okay. So double click on it. So branch type, instead of R I will choose that RL. So by default value is 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 Henry is there, okay. And then yes, I will apply and okay, now you can see that then your load is RL circuit. And then I will run the same waveform, okay, and then check the output at the scope. So there is you can say a variation, there is variation in the you can say outcome, okay, variation in the output. Similarly, now I will move this, instead of R I will make it as RL, okay. Even you can go for RLC circuit also, right? Okay, I use your load, but you need to know about its values, okay. So by default values are there. Even okay, I will double click on this and then I will use it as RLC. So it will show me what is the value of R, that is 100, inductance value, that is 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 Henry, then capacitors fired in terms of 1 microfarad. Okay, these are the by default values are there. And then to apply and then okay, if you run this, you'll get a variation in the output waveform. Okay, make it X, this one. So this is what the current measurement, and then this is what your voltage measurement across output, okay. Let me zoom it, zoom off, okay. So yes, so there you can see, okay. Not I'm going not to read to this, okay. I will just make this as R now, apply and then okay. And now I will put, I need to filter out this. Okay, I will keep capacitor. Okay, across this branch, and then the value of capacitor, as you see that here 1 microfarad capacitors are used. Okay, you can make it as you can change the value. Okay, I will put it as by default value, and then if you run it, you will get to know about this. We can see it here. Okay, let me change the value. Capacitor, let us take 10 microfarad. Let me take it, and then I will run this. So right now I don't know the exact value for this capacitor. Okay, so yes, here you can see that there are pulses. Okay, in the output current. Okay, so this is what you can say. Then I'm getting. Okay, so there you can see that this output current waveform. Okay, so there are some pulses are there here. Okay, so that pulses you can say that will give you an, you can say, DC. You can see this if you enlarge this. Okay, so you will get an DC curve for this. Okay, so by adding capacitive, okay, like RC circuit, or if you add capacitors of different values, you can check it particularly. Okay, so that is what you can say, uh, uncontrolled full wave bridge rectifier. Now we'll move ahead with the uh, control bridge rectifier. Okay, so instead of a diode, what I will need is, I need a resistor. So go back to this your library, and then in the CMScape you will get a specialized technology ICs. Okay, specialized components, specialized technology. Then you can go for this elements. Elements, it's in power electronics. Yes, in the power electronics you will have this thyristor. Okay, so this is what the your detailed thyristor is there. So just click on it, add block to a model. Just I'm deleting the things. Right now it is not required. This is what my thyristor. Okay, this one is clear, this one is okay. And then I will delete this. I will connect thyristor, anode cathode. There I need to apply a gate pulse. If you click on here, double click on here, you can see that this is what the detailed thyristor. Okay, and here you can see that its value. Okay, you can, if you want more help, you can go for this help parameter. Fine. So it will implement thyristor model. So these are the help parameter for this. So based upon your, you can see that your thyristor device turn on when your anode cathode VAK voltage is greater than your VF. Okay. Come back to this and then they will explain what is this resistance R on. Okay, the thyristor internal resistance R on, which is in terms of ohm. So resistance R on parameter cannot be set to 0. Inductance R on parameter is set to 0. So you can read out this, what is this meaning. Okay, then this, what is VF? VF is nothing but the forward voltage of the thyristor. Okay, then these terms, number, resistance, capacitance, you can read out it. There is an example, that is power thyristor example. If you click on this power thyristor example, okay, so this is what the power thyristor example. Okay, and if you want to read out this, what is power thyristor example, so yes, it is there in the help. You can see that there is a pulse generator is used in order to trigger this thyristor. Okay, that is what I told you about this. So gate pulse is applied with the help of you can say this pulse generator. And then we'll close this. So we'll go to this library browser and then you can go to this pulse generator I want. So I'll go to this Simulink model, then commonly used block. It is there? No, it is not there. So you can go for sync. So sync, there you can find sorry, sources, you can find this pulse generator model. Okay, just right click on it and add block to the model. I think it's 12:30. Okay. Bridge rectifier. So this is what the pulse generator model. So double click on the pulse generator. Okay, you can see that what is pulse generator. So you can see it's a amplitude. So amplitude is equals to 1. Okay, so amplitude of pulse generator is 1. If you see that period, okay, so now here you can say that period is 10. Okay, so but here we do not have period is 10 because we have AC voltage source. Okay, so it's a frequency is 50 hertz we have already set. Okay, so what is time? Time is nothing but 1 by f, that is 1 by frequency. So we have frequency is 50, so I will put it as 1 by 50, or you can directly write it as 20 millisecond. Okay, or you can one. And then pulse width. Okay, so for pulse width actually we need to set a firing angle. Okay, so on you can say here I will make this as for 50%. Okay, I will make this as 50 because we have a 360-degree, you can say output waveform from 0 to 360. So we have to apply that pulse width of you can say pulse generator, that is from half of the cycle, that is 50% of the period. So I will make it as a 50. So I will make it apply and then okay, what is the rest is there? Phase delay is not required. Okay, so apply and okay. And then this first generator output I will connect to this. What is this? This is what the output waveform. I will connect this to the voltage measurement block and then connect to this. Okay, delete. delete. Let's connect into this. Oh, where is voltage measurement? I have deleted. Okay, I will make this again. P, control V, voltage measurement, and then input. So at the first of the scope, take this from outside. And current measurement, everything is perfect right now. Okay, it seems. Yes, voltage measurement is there. Okay, I will run this. So this is, you can say that one thyristor I have added. Okay, so it is like your half wave controlled rectifier. Okay, half wave controlled rectifier, half wave controlled rectifier. You can see that the output. Okay, so this is what input waveform sinusoidal. Okay, and then this is what your current measurement. This is voltage measurement. Okay, so for half positive cycle, you have you can say output. Similarly, for negative, sorry, for negative half cycle, for this half cycle we do not have any output. Okay. Again, for next positive half cycle, we will have this positive half cycle output. Okay, so yes. So any doubt here? Series RLC load instead of, if you know the values. Okay, just let me go back to this. What is that? Power thyristor? No, which rectifier? Library. Okay, then you have, this is in terms of elements. Where is that? Elements. There we have this series RLC branch and series RLC load. So if you know the values, okay, I will just right click on it here. So if you know the values of your, you can say your resistor, inductor, capacitor, then you can use this. Okay, series RLC branch, you can change it also. Okay, just go back to this example. Where is that? This is power thyristor. I will close it. Close this. This one. This help. There you can see that. Okay, I think this, if you know the values of RLC circuit, okay, then you can put this series RLC branch. Okay, you can interchange these values also. If you want R type of load, if you want L type of load, if you want C type of load. But here in this case, you can see that here you cannot change that. Okay, that values. Okay, RLC type of values. Whereas if you double click on here, there you can see that you can change. Now here RLC load is there. Okay, so you can ultimately you can select R type of load, you can select L type of load. Okay, you can select C type of load, or you can select RLC type of load. So if you select RLC type of load, okay, from RLC branch, then it will be looks like similar. Okay, or here the block parameters of, you can say, RLC load is there. Power. Okay, so load flow, here you can see that cannot change these values of resistance, capacitors, or inductance. Okay, so if you know the values, if you want to change these values, then you can use RLC branch. Otherwise you cannot use this. Okay, so RLC load, if you want to modify these values, likewise we have modified values of RLC, so that you cannot perform with the help of series RLC load. Okay, So full wave rectifier, again you have to connect. For full wave rectifier I will give you as homework. Okay, so in the full wave rectifier what you can do is, here we have used as a thyristor. Okay, I'm just going back to your bridge rectifier. I hope it is there. This is, I think, bridge rectifier. I'll go back. So I'll make this control Z. I think it will not go back. Edit. So we have used four diodes. Okay, so instead of four diodes, you can use it as four rectifier. Sorry, four SCRs, or we can say four thyroid. Okay, and then as you have, just let me go to this. Yes, okay. So here you can see that for your SCR1, here this one is your SCR1, this one SCR3, SCR2, SCR4. Okay, so SCR1 and SCR3 you have to apply, SCR1 and SCR2 you have to apply the same gate pulse. Okay, and SCR3 and SCR4 you have to apply the another gate pulse. Okay, so then you will get an output. Okay, so how do we generate gate pulse? With the help of pulse generator. Okay, and if you want, again in this waveforms, okay, in this particular waveform you can see that there is no, you can say, uh, there is no firing angle properly. Okay, I will run it here. So your firing angle, it has see it at 0. Okay, so here you can see that there is concept of firing angle. Okay, so here firing angle start at 0. Now if you want to change your firing angle, okay, so firing angle at 90 degree you have learned about in the your power electronics. So firing angle, if you need to make it as 90 degree, okay, then then you have to calculate the multiplication factor. Okay, which for 360 degree. Okay, so for 360 degree we have t, that is your time, that is your 20 milliseconds, or you can say 1 by f, that is 1 by 50, that is 20 millisecond. And for 90 degree, so how much for 90 degree? So you can make it as 20 millisecond, okay, divided by 360. So you get some value, and then you have to multiply that particular value. Okay, let me give this to you. Okay, let me give to this to you. Just hold, I will make. Okay, so there you can see that we have this gate pulse we need to apply. Okay, so gate pulse we need to apply for this SCR1 and SCR2, that is one gate pulse. Okay, we can combine this, and then gate pulse of this we can combine to this. Okay, so we need to apply this two pulse generator, we need. And for firing angle, as in the earlier example, we have not checked for the firing angle. So firing angle was 0. Okay, so now we want to make this firing angle at 90 degree. Okay, at 90 degree. So how do we calculate? So as we know that for we have this. Now we can write this. Okay, so this is your input voltage or input waveform, that is sinusoidal. So this is your 0 to 360 degree. Okay, and this is 180 degree. This is your 90 degree. Okay, this is 90 degree. So now we want make to this firing angle at 90 degree. Okay, this is what our expectations. So what we can do is, we have to change that particular factor of, you can say, phase delay in the pulse generator. So what we can do is, we can make calculations. Okay, so for 360 degree, for 360 degree, this is important in terms of theoretical, okay, understanding. So for 360 degree we have 1 by f, or you can say 1 by 50, or you can say 20 milliseconds. Okay, or 20 milliseconds means you can say 0.02. Okay, 0.02. And then for 90 degree, it can be for 90 degree. Okay, what it can be for 90 degree. So for 360 we need to convert it for 20 milliseconds. Okay, 20 milliseconds divided by 360. 20 milliseconds for 360, this is for 1 degree. Okay, for 1 degree, 20 milliseconds divided by 360, and at whatever number that will come, okay, that will be x. Okay, and then if you want firing angle to be at 90 degrees, so we need to multiply this x, okay, by, make this as x multiplied by x multiplied by 90 degree, x multiplied by 90 degree, and whatever that number will come, that will be for, you can say, pulse widths. Okay, I will make these calculations in MATLAB. What? Yes, yes, 5 milliseconds. Okay, so yes, for firing angle for 0 degree, for 360 degree, so 20 e to the power minus 3, 20 millisecond divided by 360. So this is 5.55. Okay, this number is there. Okay, I will make this as a is equals to 20 into 10 to, 20 into 10 to the power minus 3 divided by 360. So a is nothing but this number. Okay, now for a I need to multiply, because I wanted to set my firing angle at 90 degrees. So I will multiply that my firing angle fa will be equals to a multiplied by 90. So that is your 0.005. Okay, so that 0.005, that you have to make it on the your uh, this pulse generator. So here, as we have put here phase delay as 0. Okay, so here you can put that value, that is your 0.005, and then you can apply. So apply. Okay, now I will run this. Yes, one more thing is there. Okay, so now see here, pulse width, sorry, pulse width. Okay, so pulse width in terms of percentage of period. Okay, so come back to this PPT again. Back to this PPT again. So if we have this waveform from 0 to 360 degree, okay, earlier we have set it to be, sorry, earlier we have set it to be 50%. Now I want to make this firing angle, so this is 1 by 4, or I will make it as 25%. Okay, because this is at the 90 degree, so half will be 50 degree, half will be 180 degree, and half to 180, that is 90 degree, that is my 25 degree, 25%. Okay, just double click on it. So pulse width is 25%. Apply. Okay, just run it. Make this as y-axis, x-axis. Make it large so that it will be visible, and then make it this one. So you can see that now this is what. Yes, I will add one more input to this. Okay, so this is what my current measurement. Okay, this is voltage measurement. This is what input waveform. Okay, I'm just closing it because I wanted to add one output of pulse generator. Just double click on it, and then yes, view, configuration parameters, make it as 4, apply. Okay, so input port of the scope will be 4. Okay, and then I will rearrange this. So make this, I will delete this output waveform 4. I will delete this. So current at output current at 2, input will be at 1, and then our gate pulse output will be at 2. Okay, so this is what the layout. So again you have to change the layout also. So here there is 3 layout. So simulation time, view, layout, and then 4. Okay, so here fourth output has not shown. Okay, so just close it and then rerun the system. Double click, and then you get an output. So this is what the pulse generator output. You can see that second, waveform. Okay, you can change the color also, as I told you about this color changing options also. So this is what your pulse generator. So it will give you I can say the output. So this is what the pulse width. Okay, so 25% pulse width what we have set it about, and then at 90 degree. Okay, so at 90 degree your gate pulse is you can say triggers the thyristor. Okay, and for this pulse you'll get an output. Any questions here? Okay, I'm not much more familiar right now. Okay, for this power electronics. Okay, so if you have any doubts related to theoretical aspects, okay, uh, you can give me some time. Otherwise, you can ask to browser, or for simulation purpose, if you need any help, you can ask me. Okay, so that's all for today's class. I think it's almost 1 o'clock. Okay, I will take your attendance. Any doubts here? Okay. So in the next week, in the next probably in the mid of May, okay, 10th or you can say May, you will have your mid-semester examination. Okay, so I will share you some question banks. Okay, maybe it is related to theory as well as practical aspects. Okay, I don't know how the question paper will be formed for this year. Okay, because mostly your exam end semester exam will be online. So there is doubt. So how the question paper will be set. So you need as you learn about power electronics, and then I'm telling you about whatever the computer analysis or computer design for this particular subject is there that I'm teaching you. I don't know how what kind of questions will be there for this particular subject. So better you can study both theoretical aspects as well as you can say related to this. And even I inquired about the person who is taking this subject. So I think from the university nobody has opted for this, because for many students or many colleges have opted for SGP. So I don't know who will be which college this CAD will be taken. So I inquired. So most of the things or most of the colleges have opted for SGP. So there will be kind of questions will be there, like you have to read it okay clearly. I will share you the question bank also for mid semester exam as well as for end semester exam. I will take each and everything on the PPT. Okay, right now I have recorded this video also. I will stop recording.